everyone, welcome back to another YouTube video. Today we will be looking at a speed paint of a painting I did kind of recently. We're starting to catch up to my current skill, which is really exciting. Anyways, this is a kind of a long time lapse, so I think we'll just get right into it because I don't want anything to drag on too long. Alright, so this is the drawing we will look at today. I'm really happy with this. I will say that it's a bit gory, I know, and I think I'll put a warning before I reveal it in editing me, so remind myself to do that. But anyways, this is the drawing we'll be looking at today. I was inspired by an Italian song called Yolandi, which is basically about this guy who invites this woman over, and he's really mean to her, and he knows that he's mean to her, but he's like, you still need to be completely loyal to me even though I treat you terribly. And it kind of just reminded me of Dabi. I feel like he wouldn't be the best relationship guy. So and I also was inspired by a cosplayer on TikTok who did a cosplay of Dabi to this, and they lip sync to it. So but yeah, that's where the inspiration came from. Alright, so this is me just sketching it out. It took me a while to figure out where I wanted his mouth position. I have a hard time with open mouths from like a side view. I don't know particularly why, but I struggle with it. I'm a big fan of really detailed teeth, so I really tried to do that in this piece of work. This is me grabbing hands from just stock images from the internet. At this point in time, my hands were not, where they are now. I still oftentimes use my own hands as references. I'll take pictures and trace them when it's a hard hand shape. But yeah, this is just grabbing. I had no idea how to draw a heart, so I really needed some help. The sketch has more detail in the heart than the finished product, which may or may not be good, I don't know, but I don't know, I just didn't feel like putting all the veins in the final product. I don't know, I felt like it needed to be just gorier, and I feel like veins made it a little too anatomically correct. But it's me filling in his skin color. As you can see, I make the line art kind of fainter and, not quite as, prominent. It's not black anymore, it's like a gray, because I lowered the opacity so I could actually color with the lines. Me filling in his hair. I know his hair is white, but whenever you're drawing, you never actually put true white or true black on anything, because then you'd never be able to, shade it or anything. It would just be like white or black. It would be like the darkest it can get or the lightest it can get, and you don't want to do that. So if you're ever drawing something with black or white in it, never use actual black or actual white, because you're not going to be able to get any depth from it. It's going to look really washed out. This is me deciding on the background, and I actually sent this drawing to my friends, and I got some constructive criticism to add a little bit more blood to it, because it wasn't quite what I wanted it to yet, because obviously when you draw something, you're gonna know what it looks like, but if you send it to someone and they don't know what you're trying to draw, it's better because, it's like a fresh slate. It's better criticism. So they told me to add more because it didn't look like his heart quite yet. It kind of just looked like he was holding a heart, but I wanted it to look like his heart he ripped out. But here's me adding shading. I use purple because I like it to be on a cool toned side, and he's also in a dark room. You can't tell yet because I haven't added lighting, but he will be in a dark room in just a little. And just blending it. I have a hard time getting texture in my drawings. A lot of my drawings look really smooth because I blend everything, so you'll probably see that in this. It's very smooth looking, and that's not bad per se, but if you're going for very realistic, skin is not perfectly smooth and it's better to have texture, but I don't like not blending everything all the way. It bothers me. But we're working on that. Hard to tell, but I'm adding some stuff around the face to just add, depth to it, to make it actually look like there's contours and all that fun stuff, and not just like a flat plane. Just, blending it out. This color is for rounded edges that are away from the light source. That's what this color is, and then I put the filter on it, make sure it all looks good and blends together. More shadows. A lot of drawing is just adding shadows, honestly. A lot of it is really just adding another shade and another shade and another shade of shadows. And then highlight comes, but there's only like, at least for me personally, I only do 2 shades of highlight, so then highlight comes and you're like, oh. Blending it out more, and then putting the filter on it. And then I realized I hated it, and then I restarted again. Yeah, so I had really high expectations for this drawing for myself. So I ended up restarting because I didn't like the blending that I did at the time. I felt like I could do better. So here we are restarting. But I do kind of the same thing. I don't know if you guys will see a difference, but I'll let you know. So basically, the reason I didn't like the first draft was because I felt it was too light, and I felt that the first round of shadows I felt weren't deep enough. They didn't cover enough as much as I wanted. So if you see in this one now, there's more of that first shadow color and less of the base skin color. I don't know why I particularly made that decision. I don't know, I just was drawing and I was like, I want to do this, and so that's what I ended up doing. So we restarted. And here's me adding more shadows. These are like the drop shadows. This is the places where it would be like super, super deep, and the shadows would be very, dark. And anything that is like off of the skin is where the shadow would be. But yeah, we're just, blending it out and, doing really, it's so hard to see, but I'm actually doing little shadows around his staples. It takes a long time, so it looks like there's like a bunch of nothing happening, but I'm actually doing very slight shadows on his staples. This is me adding the highlight. At this point in time, I have decided where I want the light to come from, so it's easy for me to put the highlight where I know I want it to be, which is nice. For a long time, I didn't decide the lighting until I was like basically done. That was like the last step, and I was like, where do I want the lighting? But with this drawing, I put it, I decided where to have it coming from pretty early on. I had a very clear idea of how I wanted this drawing to turn out. So luckily, I'm still really happy with this drawing, and I really like it. So this is me doing the burnt skin of his. This was hard because I've always done his skin a certain way. If you've watched my past speed paints, I've always done it a certain way. However, I wanted to do it like grosser and messier, since this is like one of the more realistic drawings I've done of him. So I wanted to make it like messier and just like overall just like grosser and not not as clean as I used to make it. So that was a challenge, and I think that I did better, but I still could, do better now. I'm actually working on another drawing for him, and I'm actually about to start shading his purple skin, and I'm trying to decide how I want to do that. It was really gross. I had to look up a reference for rotting flesh, so I actually know what that looks like now, so that was fun. I love knowing what rotting flesh looks like. It's my favorite. But anyways, so just doing some more on, you can see by his left hand, or the hand closest to us, that I'm just doing some shadows, and then now we're moving on to his other hand. Shadows are really, really important. They make your character look like they're not kind of melding into the background. They're more like, they really help your character pop. I'm really bad at fabric, so I kind of just put in the fabric, and I feel like I could have done better with the fabric. By the time I started coloring the fabric, I kind of was over it. I was kind of ready to be done with this piece. So you'll see that I didn't do as well as I probably could have. But adding highlight and then looking at it without the line art, I've started adding a very light color to the edges of like people. I mostly do people, so of people, to make it really look like it's like popping out. So like really dark colors on the areas away from the light, and really like almost white on the areas like closest to the light. I don't know if that's what you're supposed to do, but I've been trying to do that, so this is me doing the staples, which is very hard to tell, I know. And there's some more lighting stuff. I probably, if I were to go back, I would not put that piece of lighting right there. Or piece of lighting, I don't know. That like band of lighting right there, I probably wouldn't do that, but that's okay. Here I am texturing it. You can see I'm doing it the normal way, and then I will actually, I don't know when exactly I do this, but I will actually go back and make it even messier. I'm not entirely sure why that happens, but it does happen. Here's me doing his arm. It's so weird how it just appears. It was like such a painstakingly long process, and it's like so funny how it's just like appearing. So this is me trying to figure out how to add more texture to his dead skin. I was kind of experimenting. I was thinking about doing a layer underneath that was maybe kind of a brush that had more texture, or just messing it up more, as you can see right here. I was just trying to experiment and decide. I couldn't really, I don't know. It was a hard thing to do, hard thing to decide. This is me adding the blood, because most of the people I sent this drawing to said that he needed to be bloodier because it was a bloody process, ripping out your own heart, So they mostly said that he needed more blood. So I added much more blood. That was the plan originally as well, but I also just kind of embellished a little. It's also just, it's art, so I can kind of make it look however I want. But I am a little sad because the blood covers how I shaded the hands, and I was happy with how I shaded the hands, but it's fine. It's good that it's there. If it wasn't there, it would look weird. So, as I said, me doing the fabric, I was so super over this drawing by the time I hit the fabric. So I was like, just do whatever. And so I kind of covered it with blood to just kind of like avoid doing super detailed. But anyways, so I'm doing the eyelashes, the shadows. Very important. I don't know why, but lately I've started to forget to do the shadow of the hair. I don't know why, it's such a random thing to forget, but lately I've just not remembered doing that. And at this point I remembered that I still had to do the blood and the heart. I was getting really excited with how close I was to being done, and then I realized that, oh wait, we have an entire part that I still have not touched, and that would be the heart. It's hard to tell, but I'm shading the piercings, but I also was doing the little bit of, the like meat in between his skin and like dead skin, his alive skin and his dead skin. I had to use the picture for this because I had no idea where the highlight would be. And I had to get rid of his hand because it was very distracting, and it was also kind of sucking in a lot of light, so I couldn't tell what I was doing. But for never coloring a heart, I feel like it worked out pretty well. Adding stuff on the blood. This was hard to remember because there was so much blood that I added like later that I actually like missed a few pieces. But that's okay. I went back later. This is me figuring out the lighting. I'm a big fan of these like moonbeam lighting things. I don't know what to call them, but I really like them. They're just really fun, and I think they just add a nice touch to everything. Maybe I use it too much, I don't know. Me figuring out the lighting, it was a very difficult process because I was like, what do I want this to look like? This is me filming and posting. I had to blot it out because I needed to warn people that there was gore. Filming the TikTok, these are the lyrics. It's super quick. You can pause to read it if you want, or you can go on my TikTok and check it out, whatever you want. But yeah, this is me filming. It took me a long time to film. I don't know, just nothing was good enough. So, yeah, this is me freaking filming so much. And then, yeah, I actually went back after I posted this and I edited it a little, but other than that, yeah, that's the drawing. And here is the drawing, again, the high quality, not time-lapse blurry version. I appreciate y'all for sticking with me through that one. I know that was a long one, and I will try not to hold you too long. This picture is up on my Instagram and my TikTok if y'all want to check it out. I'm really proud of it, so it would mean a lot if you did, but it's also, if this is close enough for you, that's fine too. Alright, so that was the speed paint for today. I hope you all enjoyed. As I said again, I'll say it again, I know that was super long, so I'll try not to keep you in this outro. But yeah, I will see hopefully everyone next time with another highlights video. And I know I keep saying this, but now I'm almost certain that the next one is going to be the last Omno highlight. The picture that I showed you, as I mentioned before, is on my Instagram and TikTok. If you want to check it out, it would mean a lot if you did. I really am happy with how it turned out, and I was really excited for the speed paint. But yeah, that's all I have for you today. And please give a like and subscribe. These are very fun, but they're a lot of work, so I do appreciate any support. But yeah, that's all I have for you today, and I will see you next time with some more Omno highlights.